Hey you guys, I am back. I'm sorry I have been gone so long, but that is the reason for this video, is because this is officially a birth control warning. So I was having issues and it turns out it was because of my birth control, and I feel so much better now that I am off, but I just wanted to share my story. So if you're having any health problems and you can't figure it out, and there seems to be no reason for it, and you're going and getting tests and you're going to the doctor and they just can't figure it out, and you're on birth control, this is the warning. Like, don't forget that birth control is a medication. It is a drug. It has a list of side effects for a reason, because those are reported side effects from people. And I know I did this for so long. I wrote it off. I was having medical issues. I thought, I'm getting older, my body's changing, I'm changing, something's going wrong, there's a system malfunction, we've got to get to the bottom of this. And the whole time, it was my birth control. I guess that I just ignorantly assumed, because so many people take birth control, it's been around for a while, like it's a perfected medication. But no, that's not the case. Everybody's body responds differently, and as we get older, it changes. And I don't know if it's because I was on it for so long and it just like accumulated in my body and affected my body differently as I got older. But just a warning, birth control is no joke, girl. And if you're having medical problems, do not overlook your birth control if you're on birth control. My doctors never suggested getting off of birth control as maybe helping with my medical issues at the time. No one that I shared my story with recommended it, so that's why I want to put this video out, because I want to be that person to you. If you're having medical issues that sound anything like mine, or even not like mine, it might be a good idea to speak with your doctor and try to maybe take a break from birth control or get off it altogether. Time out. Before I get letters saying, girl, I got knocked up because you told me to get off my birth control. Still always practice safe sex, and always have at least one form of birth control. Use it safely, properly, effectively here. So let's just put that out there. I don't want to be the reason for unplanned pregnancy here, but I mean, I was on birth control for so long because I'm paranoid about getting pregnant, and I'm a career woman trying to climb that corporate ladder, that career ladder in life, and I just didn't want kids. So birth control's like one of the most effective methods, so that's why I did it. That's why I was on it for so long. It worked. I don't have kids, so thank you, birth control, for that. Definitely thank you. However, it was time to get off because it was jacking up your girl's body. So what was happening was I was getting anxiety, almost like a little depressive at times, manic depressive even, where I'd kind of be like high and lows and ebb and flow for no reason from one extreme to the other. I felt like legit crazy at times, and just like unlike me. Like, I'm usually a pretty, like, I think mind over matter, we can control our thoughts, our feelings, everything. But I would have these times where like I would feel crazy, and I would, even in that moment, be able to pull myself out of that moment and have perspective and think, girl, you acting like you a little cray right now. And just the thoughts in my head were like racing and very unlike me. I'm very positive, and I'd just be thinking like, man, this sucks. Like, just couldn't find joy in things that I normally found joy in. It's really hard to explain. Like, unless you've had those kind of thoughts, it's really hard to explain them. And I feel for people who have mental health issues, like, do not judge people. Like, people are not just crazy for the sake of being crazy sometimes. Sometimes there is like a system malfunction happening. Something is going on biologically, physiologically, that is occurring, that's manifesting its way in that craziness. So like, I have a new perspective on life when I see a crazy person, because I'm like, girl, judge not, because you were a little cray there for a second. And that to me was the big red flag, like a red flag in front of my face, because I was just feeling crazy, and especially right before my period, and I was like, something's out of whack. We gotta get to the bottom of this, because we do not need your girl in a straitjacket, because this is just unlike me. And I was getting like dizzy, faint. I fainted a couple times. Migraines really bad right before my period. And that's what actually sent me to the OBGYN. And I was going to a primary care doctor for all these other things, anxiety mostly, and just dizziness. That's what I went to the primary care doctor for. And then he sent me to a bunch of specialists. He thought maybe my heart, he sent me to heart specialist. He thought maybe because I was having like a racing heart, but I think that was just because of the anxiety. Ear, nose, and throat. He thought maybe I was having an inner ear problem, and that's why I was getting dizzy. Adrenal issues because I was under a lot of stress. Maybe that's causing the anxiety. Thyroid issues because of the weight gain. A whole endocrine, went to the endocrinologist to check on my endocrine system because they thought maybe that was just all out of whack and it runs in the family. Migraines, I went to a neurologist. They tested me for diabetes. They even tested for hormone imbalance, which they didn't find a hormone imbalance, but I don't know if that would manifest in that way. So apparently it didn't show up on my hormones checked out fine. But I certainly felt like I had a hormone imbalance and a hormone issue because I felt hormonally out of whack. And I just didn't make the connection. Like I was going to my primary care doctor for all these things, primarily anxiety, dizziness, and fainting spells. And then when I went to my OBGYN, like for my annual exams, I would just mention like, hey, I get really bad migraines and they seem to be way, way worse right before my period. And so that's when she switched me. I was on the oral normal pill contraceptive. And when I said I had migraines, then she switched me to a low dose oral contraceptive. They still continued. So then she switched me a few years later to a Nuvaring, which I believe is low dose. And it's supposed to be like localized. So she was thinking maybe it wouldn't affect me as much and the migraines would maybe subside. That didn't happen. And so it wasn't until one time right before my period I felt totally out of whack and out of sorts, and I was like, let's just try getting off this birth control, which I did, and not under my doctor's supervision, which I recommend talking to your doctor first. However, I was at my wit's end. I just had to try something different because they were giving me medication. I was on anxiety meds, adrenal meds at one point, migraine meds. And I was like, but we still just need to get to the bottom of this because, we're treating these migraines and all these different things, but we still don't know what it is that's causing this. And I knew something was causing it. And in retrospect, yes, it was. A medication was causing these side effects that we were then medicating. We were medicating the side effects of a medication, which sounds crazy, and it is crazy. And, my appetite was nuts. I was craving things, and not just before my period, all month, sweets all the time. And when I would eat, it would make me hungrier. Instead of feeling like full and satisfied, it would make me feel hungrier. And then I was like, girl, you need to lose weight. And if you eat and it makes you hungrier, then you probably just shouldn't eat. I'd go a day without eating, and I wouldn't even lose an ounce, which doesn't even make sense. My metabolism was messed up. I would eat vegetables, work out all the time, and I still was gaining weight. And I just wrote it off to the fact that I was getting older. All these different things, like that's what's so hard about medicine and health, and that's why you really need to be an advocate for yourself and really take notes and pay attention to your body and what your body's telling you, because I wrote off so many different things because I was getting older, my body's changing, it's stress at work, I didn't get enough sleep, all these different things, when really it was like, no, there's something going on. So finally I got off the pill, or I got off of birth control, which was Nuvaring at the time. I dropped 35 pounds without changing my diet or exercise regimen, without changing my lifestyle. I'm in my mood is normal, my anxiety is gone. I still get headaches a little bit. I still get PMS, I still get a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of dizziness, a little bit of migraines right before my period, but it's very limited, and it's just a whole different level. Like, it's just normal PMS, which I'm like, I forgot what normal PMS is like. Like, I got so used to, like, it was like my new normal, but it wasn't normal. So sometimes you just got to take yourself out of it, pay more attention, pay attention to your body. If you're having anything like this that sounds similar to this going on, or if you know someone who does, because I can't tell you how many people I've talked to and shared my story with, and they're like, oh my God, like, that's what's happening with me. So many people I know that are on anxiety meds, they've been on anxiety meds, and I told them my story, and they're like, I think you're onto something. I think I'm having anxiety, because as they got off their birth control, and they're like normal again, they feel better, their health, their anxiety has subsided. And so I just wanted to share my story and remind everybody that birth control is still a medication with side effects. And even if you've been on it a long time and you think your body's used to it, your body changes. So if you have anything going on, just a reminder that it could be birth control. You might want to take birth control out of the equation, at least take a break or get off of it to at least isolate what's going on in your body so you can get down to the bottom of it. Because I never thought to get off birth control, and I never in my wildest dreams thought that was what was causing all this. I thought it had to be something more substantial, and it really wasn't. I hope this helps at least somebody out there. Please do like, comment, subscribe if you feel comfortable sharing your story. If you have anything similar, birth control has jacked you up, share it below so we can kind of help and support one another, because birth control, periods, it's all a complicated process. Your body is so complicated. Never underestimate how complicated your body is. And as you get older, you think you got it figured out, and then it changes and you don't. So share your stories below. If you know anybody who sounds like they're going through something similar, please do share this. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.